Hey guys, it is that time again, a market update. So what happened in September? Before I chat about that, I just want to remind you of that video that I made in the summer about August being the best time to buy, as opportunities in August won't be present in the fall. And I was right, we're back up to spring market average price points. So in May, the average price was sitting at just over 1.1 million. In June, it came down slightly to 1,089,000. In July, we seen 1,062,000. In August, we noticed that prices were starting to stabilize a little bit, and in September, we seen prices rise back up to over 1.1 million, sitting at $1,136,000. Now, if you didn't make a move in the summer, on average, it's going to cost you about $65,000 more now than it did a couple months ago. And this isn't all doom and gloom. I'm not sharing this with you to scare you. There are still opportunities out there under the $1 million mark throughout the GTA, but the point I'm trying to make here is don't wait and try and time the market. My best advice to you would be to sit down, figure out where you want to be in your life in the near future, and if making a move up or down, purchasing an investment property, or getting into that market is something on your radar, then start formulating a plan now. You may not be ready today, and that's okay, but figure out what steps you need to take to get to your goal and start taking action. Something to keep in mind is that real estate should be looked at with a long-term lens in order to ride out any bumps along the way. We've seen what has happened with prices over the past decade and even the last 5 years, from the last correction of 2017, when everyone was complaining that real estate was expensive back then, to what has happened now. Now, the market will always ebb and flow, but the trajectory of the GTA real estate market has been upward long-term. So despite being a notable month, sales were down 18% from September 2020, which I'm sure you're reading and hearing about this everywhere because the media loves to run with this number. And no, people are not losing interest in real estate. It's actually the opposite. The drop in sales is primarily due to the lower number of new listings. Homes simply are not hitting the market. We're not getting that inventory that we need. Buyers aren't finding what they want, and if they do, then they're faced with tremendous competition, which is why we're seeing 18% year-over-year appreciation, with the average price in the GTA sitting at over 1.13 million. Now, usually the fall is a very busy time when lots of homeowners decide to list their properties and they take advantage of the demand, but we haven't seen that this year. New listings are actually down 34% from last year. Now, if we compare Toronto, Durham, and York region, you will see that they all tell a similar story. There's not enough homes for sale to meet the demand, causing prices to continuously rise. Home sales in Toronto are down 46% over last year, and home prices are only up 7% year over year. Buyers are having a hard time finding a home suitable because listings are also down 40%. In York region, homes have appreciated 27%, sales are down 17%, and homes available for sale are down 56%. 70% of the homes that are hitting the market are being sold within that month, putting York region in a very strong seller's market with 1.2 months of inventory. Now, Durham region for a very long time has been an area that has been undervalued. It was a very affordable area compared to other parts of the GTA, and relative to what's going on in other regions, Durham region still has room for a lot of growth. It has continued to be a hot topic as sales decreased 33% year over year. Listings are also down 44%, but prices are up 32% with 0.5 months of inventory. Essentially, that's 2 weeks. Now, months of inventory can help answer this question of how is the market that we're often asked. Now, the trouble is it's not a normal figure like days on the market or number of homes sold in a month, so what does it mean? Now, months of inventory is a calculation that really quantifies the relationship between supply and demand in a housing market so that we can easily see if the market is favoring buyers, sellers, or if there's equal opportunity for all. So how do we get this number? So if we take the active listings and divide it by the number of sales in a given time period, it'll equal a number. So if that number is less than 3, then we are in a seller's market. And the smaller this number gets, the tighter the market conditions are. So it's important to keep in mind that these statistics are not really facts. They're more generalities. Looking at one graph on its own will not provide you a complete and whole picture of the market. At its core, real estate is very hyperlocal, meaning that conditions vary not only from neighborhood to neighborhood, but oftentimes down to a street by street level. The best way to determine how your home is performing is to get a free market analysis for your home. Or if you're looking to purchase and find a home you love, do the same. See how that specific home would likely perform before making an offer. Leaning on your realtor for this is very, very crucial and should be handled with thought and care. The amount of inventory and being knowledgeable on how many of these homes sell month to month will direct you in what services and strategy you need to have to be sure that you have a great and successful sale. As the cost of freehold properties rises, condos are becoming an affordable option for these looking to get into the market. Competition between buyers for condos right now has also continued to pick up as the gap between freehold properties and condos begins to widen. The average price of a detached home in Toronto is hovering around the $1.7 million mark, while the average cost of a condo is $744,000. That's a difference of over $1 million. Durham region, the gap is about $542,000. In York region, the gap between detached houses and condos is about $1,042,000. We have actually seen a resurgence in the condo sector as affordability becomes out of reach. Almost 30% of the sales in the GTA that happens in September were actually in condos. So it has led to an acceleration in price growth over the past few months for condos as first-time buyers re-enter that ownership market, and we're expecting that this trend continues throughout the year. In September, 2,664 condos and apartments sold in the GTA, which is up 13%, and the average selling price grew by 12% to over $700,000. Now, Toronto has led the condo sales, accounting for 66 of the total transactions, and prices have risen 9% to $744,000. With 1.6 months of inventory, the Toronto condo market is in a very strong seller's market territory. The lack of supply and choice has reached a critical point, and these band-aid policies to artificially slow down the demand have not been really effective. In my opinion, demand isn't the issue. People need shelter, and adequate shelter at that. The issue is supply. We simply don't have enough of it, and whatever is in that pipeline that's coming down just isn't coming to market fast enough. Now, this is not an issue that can be solved by one level of government alone. There needs to be a collaboration from not only the federal government, but provincial and local for a solution. With the recent federal election behind us, housing affordability and the lack of adequate supply remain a hot topic for Canadians. However, with Ontario's provincial and municipal elections on the horizon for next year, more needs to be done to address the housing crisis from both levels of government. Much of the heavy lifting required to bring more housing online from a policy perspective happens at the provincial and local levels, so hopefully something can be done, but it's going to take a while before we see any sort of relief, in my opinion. So there you have it, your Insider Market Report. I hope you found this information useful. For more helpful content, please follow us on social media. To get in touch, all the information is going to be found below. Take care for now. See you later.